Nearly 15,000 songs from all regions of Bohemia, Moravia and Silesia are now freely available through a new online library called Písňovna.cz. The project was created by the Institute of Ethnology of the Czech Academy of Sciences, whose archives hold most of this unique collection. The digital catalogue is also aimed at teachers, making it easier to bring folk songs into the classroom. I discussed the project with the Institute's musicologist and ethnologist Matěj Kratochvíl. So first of all, what inspired you to create this online library of songs, and why have you decided to launch it now?
This project is a result of very long development and very long history of our institute, the Institute of Ethnology of the Czech Academy of Sciences, which is full of archival records of folk songs dating back to the 19th century. So the main inspiration was our feeling that we should make all those archival records available, and that is immense richness of what we could call cultural heritage that should be made available to broadest possible scope of users. And also important fact was that it was necessary to protect those sources which are on paper, very old, and so we needed to digitize them. And once it's digitized, we felt that it should be made available. So that was the reason for creation of what we call Písňovna, which could be translated as songbrary, like song library.
You said the songs date back to the early 19th century. Can you mention at least some of the most interesting songs? Are there some that are particularly interesting to you?
Actually, this year, coincidentally, the launch of our database comes 200 years after the publication of the so-called Rittersberg collection, which was published in 1825. And we have this one in our database as well. So it's the oldest collection of folk song that was published in Czech in print. So there we can find those earliest examples. And then, of course, collection of Karel Jaromír Erben, which is also very large. So it creates kind of a basis of what we call today the Czech folk song. So those are the earliest examples.
So if I go to the website Písňovna, what kind of information can I actually find there?
Mm-hmm. We try to make the website as intuitive as possible. So there is possibility to browse, either browse particular collections, so you find urban collection or collection by almost unknown collectors from like early 20th century, and you can go through the songs as if you were like browsing a book. Or you can search by lyrics, so input first words of a song and it will show you if we have song with those lyrics. You can input a tune either by clicking on a virtual keyboard or whistling into a microphone of your phone or of your computer. And thanks to the digitalization of the tunes, the system is able to compare what you are whistling or playing with our database and tell, okay, we have something that sounds similarly to the tune you are after. So that's another possibility to simply look by the musical content. And then you can look, for example, if you are interested in finding a song from the region where you were born or from your village, you can go to the list of localities, the places, and see if we have anything from there.
You have your phone here in the studio, so could you walk us through step by step how to use Písňovna on a phone or on a computer?
So if you go to písňovna.cz, first thing you will see is the song of the day. We decided to go through the whole year to the calendar and find an appropriate song which is somehow related to the current date. So today is St. Martin's Day, so we recall the birthday of the famous singer, folk song collector and folk dancer from Moravia, Martin Holý. and found one of the songs that he collected. And tomorrow we will find a different song related to either who was born or what saint's day it is or what other important thing was happening. But otherwise, if you are on your phone, you will see the typical magnifying glass, the search symbol, and then you will see that you can go to the label called Písně, the songs, and then you will see the whole list of songs. And you can either search in the search bar or you can simply go through the list. And then you can go to the personalities tab and you can see we have made the custom portraits for our database, and you can first read about those personalities. So, for example, one of the first is Josef Aul, one of the less known folk song collectors who was a teacher from the Pilsen region, and you can see that he has collected some 27 songs, and they are in our archives, and they have never been published before. So you can click open virtual book, virtual collection, and look at the songs. So that's one of the possible entrances.
And as you mentioned, if I only remember the melody of a song but not the title, the website can still help me find it. Is that right?
Yes, there is the tab or button called Zapískej a hledej, whistle and find, and you just need to activate your microphone and you can whistle like so. Simple major triad, and it will show you how many songs we have. So famous Ovčáci čtveráci, but there are like hundreds of songs that will pop up on you, and it will show you from which collections we have songs containing this melodic shape.
The website also includes resources for teachers. What prompted you to create these, and how can teachers use them in practice?
When preparing the Písňovna project, we met several times with groups of teachers. We organized workshops with them, both to show them what we have, but also to learn from them what is the situation with the folk song usage in school currently, what do they need. And we learned that actually folk songs are pretty useful material to work with, especially with small children, but it's not easy to find good sources for them because the offer is limited to some commercially published songbooks and so on. And they also would appreciate to have some prepared activities because in school there is always limited time, and as a teacher you don't have much possibility to do extensive preparation. So we prepared some activities that can show how to use particular folk songs either in the music education or artistic education, but also, for example, to teach Czech language or history, or even about zoology, because we have many songs about animals, or botanics, because we have interesting songs about flowers which show what dialectical names they were given, what specific qualities they were believed to have. We have historical ballads that speak about particular historical events, so we can use them in the history class. So we prepared several such activities, so they are kind of ready-made, so the teacher can download PDF, they can download recordings of songs, and they can simply bring them to class and be ready to work. And we also invited some children singers to record selected songs to be used in classroom, because we know that not every teacher has a piano at hand and that it's not always so easy to control the class and at the same time play the piano. So we prepared recordings both with singers and so-called karaoke version, so the piano accompaniment to which kids can sing.
And finally, is the website only available in Czech, or are you planning an English version as well?
Actually, the current Písňovna, so the main page is in Czech only, but we have another page with the same content, which is called Badatelská písňovna, which could be translated as Researcher's Songbrary, Researcher's Library, which focuses on a more academic use of the database, which contains analysis of all the songs, structural analysis, lyrics analysis, dance analysis, if information is available. And this Badatelská písňovna is already available both in Czech and in English, so that it will be available to international users.